Hello, and welcome to this USA Spending Data Sources video. This is the first video in our series about the Data Sources page. We'll discuss important federal spending terminology. Particularly, we'll explore how to distinguish top-line budget figures such as obligations and outlays. Let's get started. In the Federal Spending Overview section, we'll talk about some important terms in federal spending. The first term you should know is appropriations. Appropriations is a process by which Congress identifies and approves spending for a specific purpose. Without an appropriation, federal agencies won't receive funding and thus can't spend money. Please note that appropriations are just one kind of a budgetary resource. You can read about others in our glossary. Each year, the Treasury Department issues funds to federal agency spending accounts called Treasury accounts, and these funds may include appropriations. Let's look at an example on one of our federal account profile pages. Each federal account shows a collection of Treasury accounts grouped by agency and account code. Notice the total budgetary resources figure in the middle of the diagram, which is partially made up of new appropriations from the left side of the diagram. Now, when an agency wants to spend budgetary resources, it makes an obligation. Obligations are binding agreements that agencies enter to spend budgetary resources on authorized purposes, such as agency employee salaries or federal awards like contracts, grants, and loans. Please note that these commitments could require the agency to spend money immediately in the current fiscal year or in future fiscal years. When the agency actually makes a payment, these payments are recorded as outlays. Outlays represent the official spending of funds that have been obligated. Let's look at an example of outlays in one of our agency profiles. The Status of Funds section shows you total budgetary resources and obligations for sub-agencies of this agency in fiscal year 2022. If you click the View Outlays toggle, you'll see amounts outlaid for these sub-agencies. Again, note that outlays could be recorded for amounts obligated in the current fiscal year or in previous fiscal years. Now let's look at another example of outlays. On this award profile page, you can find outlay data in the Award Amounts section. Award outlays are displayed as totals covering the lifetime of an award up through the most recent agency reporting period. You can find award profile pages like this one in the table of results after submitting an award search. Some obligation and outlay amounts are tagged by codes that show whether they were funded by supplemental appropriations in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. COVID-19 obligation and outlay amounts are a subset of the award's overall obligation and outlay amounts. Thank you for watching this USA Spending Data Sources video. Be sure to watch the other videos in our series highlighting the Data Sources page. As always, you can send us an email at USAspending.help@fiscal.treasury.gov to give feedback or ask questions about the data or the website. We look forward to hearing from you.